everybody, and welcome to Wine Library TV. I am your host, Gary Vaynerchuk. And as you can see, we have a guest, and we haven't done that in a very, very long time. And we have a wonderful guest. You know, this is a beautiful day. You're going to see this a little bit later because I'm taping something special for the Monday after the big Jets win. But this you'll see Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I'm not sure what day, but I'm sure you're going to enjoy this episode because it's very special and it's about an area and that we've been very hot on and we've been talking a lot about. With me today is Niels Berg, who is an unbelievable producer in South Africa, and I'm going to let him tell you a little bit about what he's doing, and then we're going to taste his flagship wine and really give our opinions. And you know what? If we don't like it, as big as he is, we're going to tell him. So, Niels, tell us a little bit about what you're doing.
Yeah, firstly, it's great to be in America, embarrassingly for the first time, but you know, really enjoying it. It's fantastic to see how everything works here, and it's nice to see how the market works. Just a little bit about the farm. Niels Verburg, obviously my name. The farm is called Luddite, but we brand on the wine here in America as Niels Verburg. We only make Shiraz, sole focus on Shiraz, sole focus on trying to make the best quality we can.
What was the first vintage?
First vintage was 2000, and we obviously 2006 is sitting in barrel waiting. We basically have a regime where we have a year in barrel and a year in bottle, and then we release. And the 2004 is the first vintage we've been able to do that. The previous three vintages sold out so quickly that we just couldn't get into that cycle. So we're very happy to be in a position now.
What is
with
production?
2004. Production is very small. Well, the Shiraz we make, the 2004 vintage is 28,000 bottles only, which equates to about 2,500 cases of 12. And we will slowly grow that, you know, in the next 10 years, but we don't want to get clever with volumes. It's all about quality. That's paramount to us, and we're very strict when it comes to the final decision on what goes into the final blend. Some years 2001 for instance, our second year of business, we culled 700 cases out of the blend, which was a R1 million decision. My bank manager had a heart attack. My business partner thought I was absolutely mad. But he had enough commitment to realize that we were making the right decision, and we did make the right decision. Effectively, that second vintage, 2001, put us on the road to where we are. Got fantastic ratings to the whole of Europe, and we've never looked back since. So very exciting.
From the marketing standpoint, how much is sold in South Africa, and how much, and what other markets? And
we're pretty much exporting worldwide, but 80% is export, 20% is locally sold, and of that 20%, we sort of restaurant orientated and private customer list orientated. That's where we like to be. To me, I like to meet all the people that sell our wine. To me, the business is about people at the end of the day.
Well, I think what's really interesting, and I think a lot of people out here are going to like this answer. I'm curious myself. Tell me about this statement on the back of the bottle. You're going to like this.
Well,
what does it say?
It says technology and mechanization will never be a substitute for passion. And
where does that come from? What does that mean?
It comes from the story of the Luddites, where they were worried about machines taking their jobs, and the crafters and the artisans. So they went around smashing all the machines and burning the factories down, and they basically...
It's a proactive approach.
They basically, and their leader was a guy called Ned Ludd, and therefore his followers are branded Luddites. So I just, when I heard that, I thought that was a fantastic way of thinking, and it reflected my concern for wine in the world, where there's an overuse of mechanization, and I just felt that, to me, wine should be made from good grapes, good yeast, and good barrels, and that is it, with minimal interference. You know, there are obviously machines we can use. We can't do 28,000 bottles with our feet, but
technology bad.
Yeah, we just personally, I'm scared of computers, and I'm not too keen on cell phones either.
Yeah,
so
hate technology.
It's that is the reason for that statement.
Understood.
And we just
it's
trying to
really
make
cool.
the best one out there.
What is the rough suggested retail price in the U.S.? Do you know? Ballpark?
That's a good question. It caught me off guard, yeah.
About $39.
Okay, so this is about a $40 Shiraz. We're getting to try it our first attempt as well. Are these all numbered?
Yeah, we hand number again.
Sneak in on that. It's pretty darn cool.
We hand number every
all
bottle.
The collectors. Very nice.
We hand
That's
number
not your
every bottle.
handwriting, is it?
That's my wife's. Depending if she's not home, then I do it, and generally the untidy ones are done by me.
So
But,
all the eBay collectors can seek out the ones that you
Yeah.
did, because there's probably a lot less of those. Let's pour
They
this
can
down.
indeed. So we just feel it's another statement about handcrafted wine. We hand number every bottle as we're packing them out. The reason we put 4,000 is that is what's come into the States under that label.
Got it.
But on the Luddite it could be one of 28,000 and so
Got
forth.
it.
So the nice thing about that is it's amazing how many people actually contact us from all over the world and say we had bottle 325 out of 4,000.
That's pretty darn
and
cool.
we really enjoyed it. And you think, well, that's great, and it's a customer and it's a link for life, and it works really well.
Well, let me get right into the question of the day, which is, I know, one of the big parts of what we do for the show, and I'm going to put him on the spot right here. This is what I like to do. Today's question of the day is, if you have any questions for Niels, what is it? Ask him. I'm going to forward it to him. Hopefully he'll answer on the boards. I know he's scared of computers, but either he'll find something
My wife
or
will do it.
his wife will do it. Perfect. So that's your question. Real rare opportunity to ask questions about what's going on in this area of the world. Obviously somebody who's doing it with serious passion. And given the fact that he's 4 to 5 times my size, I'm a little concerned about tasting this right now, but I'm ready to do it. And I'm going to tell it like it is if I have to, especially if the big Jets win. Oh, God, what a big win. Obviously a huge explosive nose, really,
Yeah, we generally feel that
a little bit of leather, though, like a little
Yeah.
venison, a little
Little-
gaminess to the nose, which,
lot of
which
this,
is nice.
we tend to find once the wine's been in glass for a while, we get a little bit of spice coming through, a lot of cloves, and once it's been in the glass for about half an hour, we get a lot of dark chocolate coming through, and sometimes that spicy licorice. I don't know if you've ever had that sort of salty Dutch licorice, that savouriness comes through, and it's a thread that all my Shirazes have. Once they've, you can take any vintage, open them all. Once they've been in the glass for a while, that linearity comes through, where that cloves and sort of savoury spice starts coming through, which is great fun. We don't try and kill it with too much wood. We about 80% French oak, 20% American oak, a year in barrel, as I said earlier, but it's only 20 to 25% new oak. And
You know what this wine kind of shoots off? Almost like an imaginary blend in my mind of a great Barossa Shiraz meets Northern Rhone.
Exactly.
It's kind of got a little bit of that balance that I like in the north, especially with that black and white pepper aspect as well.
Yeah.
I mean, this is definitely not for old world wine fans. This has got so much juiciness and upfront ripe fruit that it's more towards that style. It's also got a very, very serious tannin structure and backbone. I mean, this is a wine that you're obviously looking for this wine to last 20 years easily.
Well,
if you can help it.
These days people drink wine earlier and earlier, so
Basically out of tank.
Yeah, once we release it, we like to think that it's drinking nicely, but it obviously rewards cellaring as well.
This is 13.8 alcohol.
It's
Probably closer to a little 14.5.
It's a little bit more, but I was told that the excise in America, I need to get it below 14. So it's 14.2 if you went into figures, but I think there's a nice sort of dark plummy fruit core to the wine as well, and I don't think you could have put it better. I generally feel we have one foot in a sort of New World style with the spiciness more in the Northern Rhone, Gros Hermitage, that sort of style.
This is a lot of black fruit. It finishes with a lot of black fruit. I mean, this is classic. This is the classic reason, and I know you've heard me say that I believe that Portugal, Greece, and South Africa are the next wines on the scene. Would I call this wine a screaming value? No, but it's exactly structured and priced in a point where it's delivering for the price. So that's exciting. Number two, you're getting a very interesting aspect of this wine, which is it's a little bit more traditional than a lot of the South African Shiraz-based wines that I've been tasting, and that's good. And I like that. It's not too over the top, too much of a fruit bomb, that Parkerized flavor. So what that makes me feel is this is a much better match for food than a lot of the wines I've had. And I think as you're going to start seeing guys like this changing the game in South Africa. They're going to start bringing a style and at least more variety out of the region. And I'm excited about this wine. I'm gonna score this one 91 points, which to me makes me feel it's right where it needs to be given the price. It's definitely something worth seeking out. Obviously, he's a really cool guy. We could probably use him on the Jets offensive line. He's wearing green anyway. And please send in those questions. Anything you want to wrap up with?
Yeah, it's just a little bit more about the farm for those people that get out to South Africa. We're only an hour from Cape Town.
Are you inviting all of our 15,000 plus visitors to stop by?
Well, we get a lot of visitors, funny enough, from America, and every time I have a visitor, it means I can't be in my vineyards or in the cellar. It means I can sit on the terrace and entertain them.
Wine,
yeah,
right?
Because I don't like if we don't have a tasting room per se. We taste literally in my home, and I like to taste with the people that come to the farm. So generally, you just give me a call and make sure we're there, and come through. And it's my wife Penny, myself, and 2 labourers. So really small, family-run a farm. And as I say, quality is where we're at. And obviously going with our sentiment of mechanical or non-mechanical use and our wine style, it is more. It's not a full-blown, big new world style of Shiraz. It's real. It is a good food wine.
If you haven't figured out yet, this is what the wine world is all about. And obviously, with a lot of help from you and a little bit of me, we're changing it a little bit. See you next time on Wine Library TV.
Thank you.